Hey guys, and welcome back. I am the Seven Swords, and we are back in Skyrim, outside of the Forbidden Ruins. I am just continuing the recording, actually, just to make sure. I'm going to drop a save right here, just so that I know for a fact that we won't have to worry about. Um, we're actually going to drop a save inside as well, but just in case I end up losing the recording from power outage or something like that. There is still lightning outside. I'm gonna drop another quick save. I'm gonna drop another save here, but I like these little like lights over these pots. Like I think that's really cool. Um, we will be seeing it today. There is going to be a reference of um, a character's of a death in this, and it's going to be of their own choosing. So if that is something you don't like, I will warn you when we're getting close, and then and then once we get past it, I will let you guys know to come back. But it is further in. We eventually fix it, but it is a problem.
That's close enough. Who are you?
I'm Sarah. I got your letter. You said you needed help.
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you're here. Look, I don't know how much time we have left. My brother went down this shaft a few days ago, and I'm worried. I need you to go in after him and bring him back to me alive. It could be dangerous, but if anyone can do it, it's you. Now, are you ready?
Not yet. I have some questions.
All right, but please hurry.
Who are you?
My name's Cassia. My brother and I came to Skyrim from Cyrodiil with the Imperial Legion. But we took a break to explore these ruins.
Both deserters.
We didn't want to get involved in this stupid war in the first place. We only came here because we were conscripted. But our unit was wiped out by Nords and those forsworn savages, and we saw a chance to get away from the fighting altogether. So we took it.
Mm, what happened here exactly? She probably doesn't really blame them. She probably understands it. But what happened here exactly?
Well, we came here hoping to find something valuable to pay for carriage back to Cyrodiil. Altreus went down the shaft, but he asked me to stay here.
He asked you to stay here and that was enough? You haven't decided to go down looking for him yourself?
Because he made me promise I'd stay here and wait for him no matter what. And I keep my promises. Well, except as far as the Legion is concerned.
I don't know if I would say that breaking a promise. She said they were conscripted. I don't know if Cyril actually does that. This is a mod, so information be questionable sometimes. Why send for me of all people?
I was in Markarth looking for help when I heard people talking about you and all the loot you've been trading with merchants all over Skyrim. I figured you'd be interested in exploring these ruins, so I asked a courier to track you down. And here you are.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about those carriers. They got some kind of weird magic. That's
So
all the
you ready
questions
to
I
go
had.
now?
Um, yes. I will go look for your brother. I will
I knew I could count on
go
you.
down the
Now
shaft.
quickly, go!
Go ahead and take a look inside this chest. Partially because I don't know if I've ever looked in this chest. Partially because Sarah wants to know what she's getting herself into. Okay, so it makes sense. Sarah partially wanted to check because she doesn't know if she trusts this woman. She doesn't know if she trusts her on this whole thought process. Writing's probably in prayerful. I almost fell in, and I'm not ready to fall in just yet. Cancel. I'm not gonna loot a skeever. That skeever's probably been there for months.
If you are reading this, you stand at the entrance to an ancient dwarven city. No doubt you have never heard of it, for in all my travels and all my study, I have never read of it in any text, save for the inscription here. It reads, "Those who seek refuge will find peace here, basking in the sun under the ground. Those who seek gold will find riches beyond imagining, but will pay for this folly with their lives, for there is no return to the world of man. Is it possible there is life down there? Is it possible the dwarves are still alive after all this time? As I stand here on this precipice, war raging all over Tamriel, my mind is made up. Today I take a leap of faith. Beloved reader, perhaps one day you will join me. Consider this an invitation or a warning."
That's the other thing I like about this mod. It's a mod, but everything has so much voice acting. Like if the content creators who put it out, like I've done some research and found out like a lot of this content that was added in by modders. So I'm not surprised that some of it doesn't have voice acting. But if voice acting was in all of this, I probably would have enjoyed Skyrim a lot more with all this new content. I really wish I could have seen more of other things. I do take back what I've said earlier though about it not being very good, just because I thought it was Bethesda creating it. It was actually fans who created most of it. But no other option now. We've read the Dusty Journal, and now we plunge deep. Actually, we're gonna take the journal with us. Basically, just tells her to not let anybody to try and keep anybody else from jumping down here. But if they choose to, then that's their choice. And quick save, and down we go. Pretty lucky that this was at the bottom because she wouldn't have survived this plunge if it wasn't. I do like the music. I was very confused when I first did this. A couple of display cases, master locked, and bones. More display cases, bunch of water. Now, there are a couple of ways up, but the teleportation I have is not intended as one of them. I don't know what would happen if I used it. I don't plan to do it during this. But, to the Forgotten City. Was the survival mode telling me I'm hungry. So we now get to the point where the character I talked about is. If you have problems with suicide, specifically hanging, I suggest you look away or skip forward about, I'd say go ahead forward about 5 to 10 minutes. If I remember, I will put timestamps down in the description telling you where to skip from and to for this. But this does have references towards suicide, so be warned. Imperial armor, Imperial boots. Actually, I think he looks pretty cool. But yeah.
To whoever reads this, I am so sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you will share my fate. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. But there are only two choices: death, or the door to the house on the lake. I made the mistake of opening that door. I thought I could help them if I found the right one, but whatever I did, it took me right back to that lake house. In the end, all I learned is that some things are worse than death. I urge you to learn from my mistakes. Best to take your own life now, than find out what awaits you beyond that door. I've locked it and hidden the key. I'll guard it with my eternal soul if I have to. But I fear even that will not be enough. For the lake house calls to you. And when it does, you must not listen. Altrius.
So yeah, that's Altrius.
To whoever reads this, I am so sorry you had to find
I'll bring you guys back when he's finished doing it the second time, since I accidentally clicked it again. Alright. Finish listening to his note again. Tempted to walk around for a little bit. We are going to. Just to get a peek around what's going on. Place is dark. Doors are mostly all barred and shut. I think I understand why they don't want you to go inside of these. Part of me was wondering about that because there is kind of a pretty good gain if you went inside of these that you could get. Something that you could find. But you can't. We're also finding these statues. The centurions. They're all asleep, though. Oops. There's Keever. Warning, this area is not safe. Enter at your own risk. Yara Metelius. So that was the same name as the guy that we found the thing that led us down here. Seeing the light there. Oh, there's a picture. Or there's a person. Let's see if we can end into the underground tunnels. We're going to go as far as we can, but I don't think we can go very far. Yep. Collapses pretty quickly. There's a reason why it does this, and we'll talk about that later. Sarah's probably just trying to poke around, trying to figure out what's going on. She knows that there's the lake house, which is over there. She knows that she needs to find a key. I'm tempted to... Oh. I think I know why, but I don't think I'll be able to go through... So we can go into the sunken house. And down here real quick and poke around in this place. I don't think I can do anything in here right now because I think we need another quest to push us in this direction. This is a very cool mod. Like I've said before, I think this is like clockwork where I really have to give it to the mod maker. It's very cool. I'm looking to see if there's a spot that we can go to that will go later. And I want to see if we can get to it. There's a reason why I'm looking for all this now. And I don't want to spoil what happens, so I'm not going to say it. But there's a reason why I'm looking to see if we can do it now versus when we're supposed to do it. Having Valthium makes this a lot easier. Not to mention I'm collecting these fish because we are going to be down here for quite some time, and I'm not entirely sure if this is set up for survival or not. It may be, it may not be, I do not know. And I don't know how well I'm going to be able to survive down here for the long term if if we are going to be down here as long as I believe we're going to be down here for. I do love this mod. I'm willing to stay down here for a while. Probably a lot longer than we stayed for Clockwork, because there's more to do here. Their corpse on the bridge. We're finding these burnt corpses all over the place, but no explanation of what happened. I believe the key is needed here. Door's all shimmery. It needs a key. I know where the key is. Probably have guessed where the key is. Since it's the only part of this place that's had an interesting inkling, which Sarah probably knows, but she's probably curious. And I want to grab as much of these mushrooms while I'm here as I can. There's a little campsite over here, which we never did pick up the campsite from the camping gear from which kind of sucks, but that's okay. We'll have a house while we're down here. Some of you might know what's about to happen from the guy's note. You might understand what this is going to be and why I find it so fascinating. But we're going to finally head up there and talk and figure out what the spirit's all about. Because I think we've done pretty much everything. Except for maybe pick up a few more mushrooms. The fungus are among us. Something I like saying a lot. Another one of these statues here. I was also looking to see if we could find a particular person. Again, I'll explain more about that later. Oh yeah, let's go up here real quick. This is another area that I want to see if we can explore a little bit more than the mod author would have intended. I will save if I think I can, because I don't want to ruin things, and I don't know how much is prepared. I actually don't have it. Like I said, once we get into this, I will talk about it more, but there's a lot of questions I have about this mod and how exactly it worked. The person I was hoping for doesn't seem to be up here, and I don't think he's going to be around here. He's probably in one of these houses, but I can't go in most of them. The only one I've so far been able to go in is the sunken one, and I can only guess that the sunken one might be able to be gone into because that might not have been entirely planned. Can I go in here? I can go in the abandoned palace. So this is a interesting location. Oh. They are there. I am tempted. Alright. My temptation is going to win. Zaren's blink. Let's see. Now, the way you're supposed to do this... You're not supposed to do this yet. But the way you're supposed to do this, I think, is you're supposed to slowly work your way up these coffins. You're supposed to jump onto the coffins to get over these archways. But I think when you're supposed to do it, this archway is the one that's closed. It might not be. It might be that one. But what we can do is I can teleport up to here and get over to here to get these immaculate dwarven gauntlets. Now, like I said, I'm not supposed to be here yet. And I don't know how much of this is okay for me to explore right now. Because it's very possible I shouldn't be exploring any of this, because I don't think you're supposed to be able to get here. Oh. So, I can't say for a fact that is not supposed to be, that I'm not supposed to be here, but I do know those guys, I did not expect those guys to be here. Body, there's somebody down there. Another burnt horror. I definitely wasn't expecting one in full armor. Now we'll notice that these are normal dwarven armor. Not like that other one that we picked up that is immaculate. Gauntlets that were immaculate dwarven armor. Oh, another corrupted horror. Charred horror. They're dying pretty quickly, but again, these things aren't very powerful. These things are basically like skeletons. Basically a little more than skeletons. There's some spiders back here as well. Dead ones, but I am curious if there's anything back here. We still have the quick save, which I might use eventually. Because like I said, I don't think we're supposed to be back here. Because as far as I know, I don't think you're supposed to be able to get back here. Well, I don't think you're supposed to be able to get back here right now. That's one reason why I tried jumping. Because if I could get back here right now... Oh, we have a Necromancer's Journal. Sadly, this one is not read to us, and I don't feel like reading it. Get me not. Show the book to Barol as proof of the Dwarven's law is real. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're heading out of here. We're going to head back. Not by leaving. I'm going to teleport. I'm going to load the quick save. We're not supposed to be back there. We're going to be going back there later. That's one reason why I didn't want to read the book. I didn't want to read the book and reveal anything. That just revealed to me that it's not intended for you to be back there because of the way that triggered a quest. And I really don't want that quest to be triggered because I don't know if that will cause problems when I try to leave and will mess up the story. So we're going to go up there and stop poking around and stop trying to break the mod. Normally, I think most people would just kind of rush off in that direction, or not even. When I found those gloves originally, I didn't even mess with them. I ended up just ignoring them and leaving them. I can't remember which of the endings I originally got. I think the ending I originally got was the second best ending that I know of. I don't even know if I know all of the endings, but I think the ending I got was the second best ending.
In your shoes once, a lifetime ago. I remember the way the lake house calls to you.
I think we can open this. Oh, we can. Skyrim Revised. There is something that you can find, I think, here. Wondering if we can find it now. If it only shows up later. Skooma. Interesting. I had forgotten that the person in here had skooma. Or consider a thought process. You can kind of tell where you're supposed to go because the lights light up and you like get indications that you're going the right way. I am going to continue to poke around for a few more seconds. I know I said I would knock it off, but it's another situation of I know for a fact we're not going to get this option twice. It'd be different if we weren't, if I knew I was going to come back here and just loot this stuff later, but that's definitely one of the reasons why I want to loot as much as I can right now. Not to mention I'm curious if there's going to be anything that, that's here, that the mod author put here for people who were inquisitive enough to come looking around. Whoa, wait a minute. Was that what I think it was? That was what I think it was. I have questions. Oh my god. So that must not just be from the mod, from the Clockwork mod. That must be iconic. That must be something that's from either either in-game already or it's something that is from Dwarven make. Can't get it. I tried for like 30 seconds, could not get it. The Last King of the Aliens. There's that book I thought was the book for the thing. Explorer's Guide to Skyrim. Apparently gave me an update. Third Era of Tamriel. Drawn Metal, which I'm not taking because that stuff is heavy. And in the end, all it is a bunch of stuff. I am also doing this because I kind of want to enter the lighthouse when we get close to near the end of this run, this video, so that I'm not putting the what's through the lighthouse in the same video as this. Over here as well. As far as what's inside of that place, I know I can go into that place later. Oh, interesting. This is the only, this was the first chest that it was a steal from. Yep. Let's see what's inside here. Nothing good. Aberration of Frost, Bloody Rags, Shaded Armor, and Torture Tools. I know what that's from. We'll talk about that later. Hopefully that will be one of the endings I will be showing off in my second playthrough. We will be showing it a little bit because I plan on doing it, but it's not going to work the way the game wants you to think it will. Alright, we'll follow the light. At least for a little bit.
Like a simple choice, and yet, in the end, death was the better option all along.
I know we have these 3 volumes of Dwemer stuff, but I'm just going to take them just in case I end up somehow not. If I start sitting here going, I think I have that one, I think I have that one, I'm going to end up not grabbing them. Ever. And I don't want that. Another bedroom. At least that's what these seem like. They seem like bedrooms. Which, I could probably say that they are personal rooms. Another master lock chest. Every time I find a master lock chest, I expect to find something more interesting. Which, that one room, I'm pretty sure, is Victi's key added. I got a key from that. Interesting. Second letter from the Jarl of Vitius. Dear Vitius, please advise this week on the progress of your efforts to dismantle the Dwarven bust. This is an issue of the utmost importance to me personally. Your efforts will be rewarded. Ah! I will go ahead and take that. Again, I'm not entirely sure how this mod works. We'll be more talking about it in the next episode. But there's something I'm very curious about how he does what he does. But he's getting more and more curious as she's moving down. There is something I know of that's around here. I'm getting close to where it is. And I'm curious to know... Oh, this goes to the Forgotten City. Oh, it's out on the balcony. Right. Just go back in. We're almost at 30 minutes. Like I said, I'm trying to make this last long enough that we won't be going through the next part until afterward. I'm also looking for a few things. Dresser that requires a key. Letter to Ashtian. Dear Chief Ashian, I am reliably informed that you have been filling my daughter's heads with the ideas about the illegal and soul-destroying substance used by degenerates all over elsewhere. Skooma. Oh, here's a good place for her to learn about what skooma actually is. It appears that you may not have been entirely forthcoming with me about your personal history as a disgraceful skooma addict prior to arriving in my city. I will be watching you closely. I remind you that you are in privileged position of trust and confidence in my citadel. If you do not conduct yourself with the utmost priority, you will very quickly find yourself living in squalor in the city below. I trust I have made myself clear. We're noticing a little bit of a way of how this works. This guy's basically telling him about his life, about making these people basically obey him. But why? What's the reason? Why would they just go with him on this? Another bedroom. Like I said, I am specifically keeping this to one episode. I am trying not to move forward too quickly. I also wanted to make sure I found as much as I could. Oh, did we end up going backwards? I think we did. We must have. Okay. Every time I see those things, it scares me. How many skeevers are in this place? Skeevers are in this place, and does it matter? Be my next question. Unsent letter. Dearest Berwin, I know this letter will never reach you, but I want to write to you anyway. One of my neighbors here said it might help me get closure, whatever that means. I wish I could tell you how sorry I am about what happened. You must be wondering why I just disappeared one day. I think you know I would never leave you, so by now you've probably assumed I'm dead and moved on. I wouldn't blame you if you have. Markarth is a hard place, and you'll need all the help you can get. With our son will need, and our son will need a father. I just needed to write this down. I love you. I wonder if that actually relates to a character in Markarth. Probably. Would not be surprised if it does. Black robes. I am considering possibly grabbing some clothing that is not my destruction robes. Go ahead and take all of these. We don't have a lot right now because I did leave a bunch of them behind. We won't take the steel plate or the thing. Anything that I know I can get, I'm not taking. I'm mostly just looking for stuff that's rare or stuff that I could take that will be useful, like consumables. I did eat a little bit of our food rations before. Sarah probably is kicking herself because, again, she's come into this situation of, like, she's found her way into this, like, ruins that she's now pretty sure she...
Understand. I locked the lake house door to stop you from making the same mistake I made.
He's basically trying to keep us from going to the lake house, but at this point, Sarah's persistent. Not going to die down here, and she doesn't even know if she could, because she knows she keeps coming back every time she dies.
Now, you ignore my words and come searching for the key.
this does have what I was looking for.
Stay away. I hid that key for a reason. You're making a mistake.
Alright. I'm gonna do this again. Moment. My apologies. I tried to hit the mute button, hit the pause button by mistake. I had to sneeze. But we are going to save, and I'm going to see if I can get over this gate, because, again, this is a particular... this gate requires a key, but you can jump over it with blink. And I was curious to see... door is locked with a master lock. I was gonna say you could probably skip to the end of the episode if you wanted to, but I guess not. There might be some spoilers behind this door. Close. We were close. Come on. I take it back. The spoilers I was thinking were back here are not back here. We may eventually see what was in here. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and teleport back. So he wanted to keep us from coming up here and finding the key. There's another thing you could do up here. This wall right here can be broken. And if you follow it, and if you follow the tunnel behind it, will lead back up to where his sister is. When I do I will probably do, like I said, I'll probably do a playthrough of me playing this as another, either as Sarah with the reload, or playing it as another character. And when I do, I will show off a bunch of different things, like what happens if you go back through it. We have Dormoro's journal. Dear journal, today my father gave me this stupid journal in the hopes that I would write down my thoughts and feelings. I know you're reading this, Father. I know I may be young, but I'm not stupid. I know you like to go through my things when you think I'm not looking. But you keep your secrets, and we both know you like to keep secrets, so I'm keeping mine. Sincerely, Dwarmer. I love that little bit. His daughter is interesting. At least I think she is. I think we run into her. That may have just spoiled a lot, but we'll see. We'll open up this. Aha! We'll take those. I noticed that I took both of those, even though Children of the Sky, Children's Owl. Alright, let's head out to the next one. I am very glad I'm no longer a vampire, because this mod would have been really hard as a vampire. Especially since how long I plan on staying here. I'm reading books for paper. Dwarves Volume 2. Rule of Soul Trap, Dwarves Volume 1. We might read through some of these, maybe. Citizen arrival log. Date 1, Royal Quarters City Northwest Chambers, Research Dwarf and History Technology, self-assigned, notes brilliant, Citadel, lower floor, room 3, Research assistants to Broil, keep occupied, potential. This deceased city house of lower circle vacated. Assigned role, research assistant to Barvel, rumored to babble in necromancy, last seen entering palace, locked door behind him, presumed dead. Galver, city house, lower circle, farmer, typical lazy Nord. Victus, Citadel, middle floor, or room 4, assigned investigate Dwemer technology, imperial military engineer, keep busy. Haryan, Citadel, middle floor, room 1, assigned supervise laborers, Nord, but obedient. Herbal, deceased, city house, upper ridge. Courier, Herald, found key. City house on upper ridge. Dooley, no role, not able to work. Multiple complaints about requests to help with missing fortune. I think Hurdle and Durrell are related, if I remember correctly. Restucia, city house of upper ridge. Tavern manager, forsworn. Choose words carefully around her. No potential. Antia, Citadel, middle floor, room 3. Citadel chief. Skooma addict. Former Skooma addict. Keep away from Dormora. No potential. Dumitis, city, lower floor, room 1. Assigned role. Successor in waiting. Anger issues. Citadel, lower floor. Assigned role, none. Potential. Sota, city floor, city guard. Completely deaf, perfect. House, lower circle, manage city food stores, likable. Look here, city northwest chambers, healer, competent in bargaining, skilled alchemist, no potential. We're just gonna skip to the end because I'm curious to see. Yep. Altarius, City Northwest Chambers. Assigned role is blank. And trespassed in my lake house. We will be keeping this because we will be going through it. Especially to check a few other bits and bobs. But we're almost to the end of this episode, so it's time to now finish up and head to the lighthouse. Or to the lake house. Take the lake house key. And fall. What we might not have heard there was that was a ghostly voice saying lake house. Because she probably is very surprised she survived from that. News is that she does have magicka. Can heal her broken bones. Although, literally falling from that height and surviving is surprising. And I wonder if you could actually walk off that edge and take that much damage, if you take that much damage again. Or if it's now, like, prevents you from going back. Might check that out in the other playthrough. We enter this door, and this whole place is going to get interesting. But that's going to be in the next one. I've been the Seven Swords. Been a dark and dreary sight, but maybe it'll be interesting when we go through the lake house. If only. If only we could see it at its heyday. See y'all in the next one.